The Securities Arbitration Clinic handles cases for individuals who have cases against broker-dealers, commodities trading companies, as well as individual brokers. In the last 10 years since I've been running the clinic, we have recovered over $1.6 million for our clients, and every penny has gone back to our clients.
The first client that we worked on was, our client was actually a trust. And there was a young, well, she was very young when she was injured, but she was allergic to she had an allergic reaction to an immunization when she was very young, and she was left both mentally and physically handicapped, entirely handicapped for the rest of her life. And she received a sum of money as part of the settlement, the award for her damages, and that money was put into a trust, and then the trust invested that money to try to create some income so that she could live off that money for the rest of her lives.
The students do everything, from intake to filing the complaints, to negotiating settlements, trying cases. They do all of it.
Her broker at the bank recommended that she go into some risky stocks, which they knew were risky at the time, and didn't meet her investment profile and the documents that she had signed with what she had requested, and what they had agreed to limit her exposure to. The entire value of her trust, which should have been enough, if properly invested, to last for the rest of her life, was now going to be gone within a year. When we found those out, they eventually settled for almost all of her money back. And that was our first case.
The cases fall into basically three categories. First, cases where there's been fraud, and in some cases, conversion or theft. In those cases, we do our best to get all of our money back for our clients. In some cases, we bring cases where there's been a mistake that the brokers won't correct. And for our low-income clients, a mistake in their retirement account can be very costly. It can reduce their Medicare benefits, their housing benefits, which are often linked to their income, and it can cause severe tax consequences for them. We also do advocacy work that tries to influence the regulation that will impact on retail investors.
Of course, it was all supervised by Professor Goldman, and she does a really great job. So she does a lot of training, a lot of education, a lot of classes about products in general, about specific situations. And then she does a lot of great training on how to do opening statements, closing statements, how to interview witnesses, and when they go up for arbitration, do cross-examinations and direct examinations. It's very rewarding and humbling, I think, to know that you have such a huge impact and that the work that you're doing actually does make a huge difference in someone else's life.